Hey friends, and welcome back to our Daily Women's Devotional, I Am Loved, edited by Carolyn Ruthven Sutton. Today is March 30th, and the title of our devotional is A Creek Runs Through, written by Ella M. Radzewski. The Bible verse is found in Proverbs chapter 18, verse 4. The wellspring of wisdom is a flowing brook. Ella writes, "Sitting on the banks of my creek, I hear it babbling to me of memories and metaphors. I saw it first at 3 years of age when we moved to the country from the city. For a month, we used its waters to wash clothes until my father piped water from a spring. The creek was so shallow and sandy in those days that my father could drive a tractor or car through it. A tall weeping willow swayed above the creek in which my cousins and I played, building castles, dams, forts, and cities from coarse brown granules of sand. The creek was my playground during my growing up years. We went barefoot in the creek, but adults needed a bridge. My father built one of cement over the deepest part where the minnows schooled near frogs, crayfish, and water striders. Occasionally, an ominous creature slithered out from under the bridge and then returned to it. Like the snake in the Garden of Eden, it came to invade our territory. When the creek began eroding its banks and changing course, my father hauled rocks from a river to stack and protect our yard. One summer, storms took down the creek's beautiful weeping willow. Years passed. I left home and my father died. My husband and I returned to live here. He continued to fortify the creek's banks, but the water insisted on changing course over time. Next, we cemented the rocks into the misshapen banks. A deeper gorge appeared after each heavy storm. Storms come more frequently these days. They've turned away some of the cemented rock. During one storm, we feared for the sycamore tree on the house side, but an avalanche of sand rushed down the creek, building a beach and holding it in place. On the opposite bank, erosion took out grass, leaving very high banks. I wonder how far the creek will move in that direction. I contemplate the history of the creek's movements over time. I think it's like my life. My life also wanders and changes course. The creek is not the same one of my childhood, but it streams memories of my family. It's witnessed happiness and tragedy. The creek runs through my thoughts of this place. The farmhouse, sheds, and tractor, they're all still here. I've been back for decades now, but I, like the creek, am ever moving, ever changing in body and mind, but still the same. I need not just rocks, but the rock of ages to sustain me." Ella M. Radzewski is a freelance writer living in Clarksville, Maryland, United States of America with her husband Walter. She previously worked for Adventist Review and Ministry magazines before retirement. Just like the creek in the devotional, our walk and journey with Christ is ever-changing. We may have hills and valleys in that walk, but one thing always stays the same, that God loves us and He is always there. I hope that you guys are blessed, you enjoyed today's devotional, and I will see you again tomorrow.